Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're having a great day. Now, this channel is typically about self-improvement for men. It's about the image that you put across to other people. And the way that we normally talk about how you can improve that is by improving what you wear, finding your own style or improving your physique by increasing your exercise regime. However, today we're going to talk about something that we've not really covered on this channel before, and that is how you are perceived, how you're judged by the car that you drive. Whether that's fair or not is immaterial because it is a reality. Now, to put that into some sort of perspective, let's have a couple of scenarios here. Imagine you pull up at a luxury car dealer's in a car which is just a piece of shit. How many of those sales guys in that car dealership do you think are going to be trying to run out to you to be the first one there so that they can sell you their newest car? I'm going to say probably zero. And the reason for that is these guys, rightly or wrongly, are going to make a preconceived judgment about whether you can afford to even be in that dealership. Now let's reverse that and let's imagine you pull up to the same dealership in a reasonably nice car. Something that makes you look like you've got a little bit of money, that makes you look like you're successful. Straight away, those sales guys, again, are going to make a snap judgment on whether you can afford to be in that dealership. So it's important because what you're rolling in really is an expression of the kind of person that you are. Now, the good news is that you don't need to spend six figures to be able to make a statement. In actual fact, the UK car market is absolutely jam-packed with cars under 50 grand that look way more expensive than they are. So what I've done is I've chosen 5 second-hand cars that I think are stylish, they're performance-driven, and they will say something about you. Anyway, that's enough of the chatter. Let's jump straight into the first motor. Okay guys, the first car on my list, this one surprised me. It's the Porsche Taycan. Now obviously Porsche as a brand doesn't need any introduction. It just aligns so well with success. If you see someone driving a Porsche, particularly a newish one, straight away you think wealth, you think success, you think winner, you think confidence, all of those things. So it projects the image that you want, that you're sharp, forward thinking and you're successful. But what also I think happens with this car is that it shows people that you don't really follow trends, more that you're setting them, because this is a very future facing car. It's electric, but it's still a pure Porsche. It's still going to drive like a sports car. It's low, it's wide, and it gives that confident poise on the road. But what I also like about this car is that it doesn't scream attention. It gets it anyway. And I'll give you an example. A few weeks ago, I was walking through a shopping centre in Marbella in the car park with my wife, and there was a Taycan sitting there. And out of the blue, my wife said, "I've never seen one of those before. That's really smart. How much is one of those, Dean? 150, 200 grand." So that's the sort of image that this car gives. But look at the price of this, guys. It is way under the 50k budget I set myself for this exercise. It's a real statement piece, this car, with no need to shout. Okay, the second car that I've selected is the Land Rover Defender 110. Now, this is obviously an iconic British SUV, and it's already got incredible presence about it. But what I particularly like about this model is this one has got the urban body kit fitted, so it gives it that extra bit of width, that extra bit of edge, and even more road presence, if that's even possible. Now, one of the things that I think image-wise on this car, when I see people driving these, for some reason in my mind, I always think this is just like a toy for them to run about in. I always imagine this car is the second or third car in their garage. So again, when I look at it, I think wealth, because in my head, if I'm thinking this is their second or third car, even though it might be their daily, or their only car, I straight away link this car with wealth. And that's the way my mind works. Again, prejudging. But it's a great car, guys. I think it makes a strong statement, this car. And again, it's a car that will look good whether you're city-based or whether you're in the country. It just has all the right... It speaks volumes, this car. It has everything right about it. But a great car. And again, look at the price of it. Okay, the next car number 3, I'm going to be completely honest, guys. I didn't even know this model existed until I started this exercise of seeing what's about for less than 50 grand. But it's the Mercedes-Benz XClass. And similar to the Defender, for me, when I saw this, I straight away thought, what a great car this would be just to bob about in. You know, not to have it as your main car, again, to have it as the second or third car in your garage. But again, it's got the right badge, the same as the Porsche we mentioned earlier, or even the Land Rover for that matter. You know, it's the Mercedes-Benz badge is just associated with luxury. So you've got the right badge sitting on it. Another thing about this car is as well, it's not common on the roads. So that puts a massive tick in the call box. And also as well, I think it's like a quiet flex, this car. You know, it's for the style savvy, no nonsense driver. But again, I think it sends out all the right images. And you could pull up anywhere in this. And I think the only thing that people are going to judge you is that you've got a bit of money and this is a toy for you to bob about in. But great car. I think it's practical, it's grounded, it's understated cool. It's a car that says, I don't brag, I just deliver. Brilliant car, and again, under 50 grand. Okay, car number 4 is the Audi RS5. Now, I'm going to be honest, I was umming and ahhing. I put it on my list and then I took it off. You know, there's so many cars for under 50 grand that you could choose, but I like the Audi brand. I really like it. In fact, one of my favourite cars is the Audi RS6. I've never owned one, but I keep looking at them. I really do like the Audi brand. Now, the RS6 and the RS4 is way over the 50k budget, particularly for a car that's not very old, you know, certainly within the last 5 years. But the RS5 is a car that makes this list. So what do I think about this car? Well, I think it projects a really clean image for anyone. I think the image is that, you know, you're powerful, you're intelligent, you know quality when you see it, and you don't need to brag and shout about it. You know, it's a bit of a wolf in sheep's clothing, this. You know, he's got a very subtle design, but at the same time, with it being the RS model, it packs a punch under the hood. You know, you 400 odd plus horsepower, I think it was 440, 450, something like that. But a fantastic car again for under the 50k price bracket, and put a private plate on this, and I think straight away people are going to be thinking that you're driving a 6-digit car here. So a really good option, I thought. I was toying around with the M5, but because I've had M-Series BMWs before, I just thought I'll change it up and add this to my list. But a great car, and yeah, I think it definitely projects the right image. Okay, car number 5 on my list is the Kooper Formentor VZ3. Now, the VZ editions are the high-performance versions from this brand. And I'm going to be completely honest, up until around 6 months ago, I knew very little, and I mean almost zero, about this brand. But I purchased one of these cars 6 months ago. I had no intention to buy one. I wasn't even looking to buy a new car. But what happened was I was driving past the Kooper dealership with my wife. I saw a couple of cars on the forecourt that I thought looked really nice, double back, and ended up buying one for my wife, a Kooper Leon. Anyway, a week later we was in there signing the paperwork for her to have a new car, and I saw a Kooper Formentor VZ3 inside the dealership. And I popped it open, sat in it, liked it, and asked if I could have a test drive in it. So a few days later, I went back, had a test drive in it, and I was seriously impressed with this car. It just drove so nice. And what I particularly liked is I noticed when I was driving it, people were looking at it. You know, you could see them asking themselves, what is that? So it's definitely bold and different, this. But what I also like is, you know, apart from the fact that I think it stands out from the typical crowded grey German saloons that you'll see in the car park, is that it does look a little bit futuristic. It's got great tech in it. The gearbox and the engine is really, really good in it. But from an image perspective, I think it just screams that you're independent. You know, you don't need brand clout. You know, your choices speak for themselves. So I think it shows you're very independent. You certainly got your own style. And that was something as well that grabbed me to this car. But again, this is a car that you can get for just under 50 grand. And if you haven't already checked one out, go check them out, because I think you'll be very surprised what you get here. Okay, so there you go, guys. All of these cars, these 5 cars, are under 50 grand, and they're all available right now in the UK second-hand market. Also, as well, you know, the purpose of this vlog was that we opened it up in the intro talking about image perception, you know, and what people preconceive, you know, about you based on what you're driving. And I think that these cars all give the sort of image that you want to put across, but they're not cars that show that you're flexing. You know, I think they show that you know what you like and you've got the confidence to drive it. And I think they also show as well that maybe you got a bit of cash that you can spend, you can have some fun with. But anyway, drop your comments below. Maybe you've got 5 cars that you would choose over this for under 50k. Let me know in the comments. I'd really, really love to know your thoughts on this one. Anyway, as always, if you've enjoyed the video, please remember to hit that like button, and more importantly, make sure you smash that subscribe button. It's absolutely free to do, but it helps the channel to continue to grow. Anyway, in the meantime, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll get back to you again soon.